Welcome back to another video. In today's video, what I want to talk about is the most realistic business that you should run while you work a 9 to 5. Most people tell you that you need to run an agency. An agency, to me, is not the best business model to get into if you work in a job, right? And the reason why is because the amount of time that you need to allocate towards it. I'm going to talk about this in just a sec, but before I get into the meat and the potatoes, what I do want to say is that I have a free Discord group with people who are on the same mission as you that want to accomplish the same things. And there's about 18 spots left for people to join. The link will be down below. Go join it. Now, if you are someone who works a 9 to 5 and you live by yourself, building an agency is going to be tough because your 9 to 5 is going to require a lot of time from you, and then also building an agency is going to require a lot of time for you. The actions that you need to do in order to get clients with an agency is substantially harder than other business models. And this is why I usually don't recommend people who can't go all in on this, who don't have a lot of time, to focus their time here, because of the fact that, again, it's hard. I mean, and nothing good in life is easy, right? But the reality of the situation is that to grow an agency, you need to be able to, first off, most of these people on YouTube are telling you that you need to do cold email and cold outreach. I already made another video where I told you that most agencies that have grown to the scale that they're at, and the agencies that I've worked with, even my own agency, it wasn't based off of they didn't grow based off of sending emails, right? That's not what made them catapult to the top. Most people report that their growth comes from referrals, comes from content creation, and there's another one that I don't remember, but you could go watch the last video or one of the videos that I made where I talk about this, right? And this whole thing is that if you don't have time to allocate towards that, it's going to be super hard, right? And the thing is, too, the amount of time that it takes for you to send emails, to write out email scripts, to do all that, to craft the offer, to find different niches, and then on top of that, you have other people who are doing the exact same thing. So the same business owners that you're trying to reach out to in your local area are also getting reached out to by other people who are doing the same exact thing as you, which makes it extremely harder for you to even conquer a niche, as most people would say. Which, the whole niche thing in of itself is also crazy because, I mean, if you're only emailing people in your local area, how many people do you think you're going to be able to realistically convince to work with you? And that's not to say that cold email doesn't work, because I know people that have used it and it has worked for them. But I'm just saying that the amount of time that you need to allocate in order to make it work is way too time consuming while you're also working a job. Most people who want to start an agency need to start an agency because you have no money and no time, right? And so the only thing that they can do is try to convince other people to buy something from them that's a service. But if you have money already, which that comes from your 9 to 5, and you're making a comfortable living, then trying to basically overturn everything that you have going on just to start an agency, that's going to be hard as hell. And then there's a huge risk as well. Like if you quit your job and you go all in on this, and you get, let's say you send cold emails for the next 10 months, right? And then let's say you get one client each month. You end up, getting about 10 clients for the year. Let's say the last 2 months you don't get any clients. Well, here's the issue. You have to basically be able to retain these clients. And I can tell you right now that it's not as simple as just running ads, because you got to understand whether or not this person has a good offer, whether or not their market is, this is the right time for their market. Is there a seasonality aspect to their business that you don't know? Like, you have to learn all of this stuff. And even if you think through all of it, there's still things that could come into play. Maybe the website that you're working on was designed by a developer who has no idea how to really build technical websites, and now you're stuck having to change everything on their website that you didn't know that you would have to get into this, right? You didn't know that you would be basically editing their website, but you have to, because it's a byproduct of the service that you do. In order to produce some results, you have to change the things on their website. You have to add the call to actions and all that other stuff, right? So now you're stuck doing that, and that's more time away from your service. And people could say, well, yeah, you could just charge for that, but you can't really prepare for that. You don't even, and then even if you do want to charge for that, that's more money that you're asking from the client that that doesn't even know you. So this is why when it comes to this type of topic, I'm way more in favor of telling people to build educational businesses. The reason why is because, number one, YouTube is where most people go to learn something new. We already know that, right? It's the education hub. So you likely can find someone who's trying to learn something on your subject on YouTube, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is, because you know that means it's not that hard to attract clients. So all you have to do is pick one weekend where all you do is record content for that weekend, and then you just post it on YouTube. And if you just stay consistent and you keep doing it, people will find you, especially if you're making sure you're using the right thumbnails, the titles, and stuff like that. And the best thing about this is you don't even need a whole bunch of subscribers. You just need views. If you can get views and you have a good offer and you can run people to an offer, they will want to learn more about what you have that might help them and that might solve their problem. And then there's so many ways to monetize this. You can monetize this with different levels of access. And it's like, you don't have to be a wizard. Like, you can sell whatever you want, literally. Like, if you want to sell content about reading books, you can do that. I know somebody who literally has a community where all she does is read to people, and she charges $15 a month. And $15 a month to you might not seem like a lot of money, but the thing is that that's the entry point for her group. She can upsell other things if she wants to. She can recommend for them to go buy books to be a part of certain classes. If they go buy books, she can make money off of affiliate marketing. There's so many ways to make money like doing this, right? And so, you can sell education, you could sell communities, you could sell different trainings and stuff like that. And as long as it solves the problem for the person, the best part about this is you don't have to get them this crazy astronomical result that, where they're paying you to directly impact their life by making them significantly more money, right? Because here's the thing, there's no matter how good of a marketer you are, no matter how good of you understand business, there's always going to be certain things that you're just not going to understand when it comes to someone else's business that's going to prevent them from getting the desired result of whatever dollar sign they want, right? Like, it just happens. I had a client that I was running, we started running ads for them. They were, they're located in Philly. They're junk removal in the junk removal space, and quickly we noticed that when we were running ads for them, that they were getting a whole bunch of leads from the local service ads, but they weren't getting that many from the traditional Google ads, and it didn't make any sense because on paper, this person should get a whole bunch of leads from Google ads, like traditional Google ads, but it just wasn't working as well. And we had a great landing page. The copy was tailored to the people who wanted to. Who wanted to get the service, but it just wasn't working. But comparatively, the same, like the Google business profile, the local service ads that were ranking for the same thing that the Google ads were ranking for or showing up for, right, was getting more results for the same thing. So there's like certain things that you just don't know. And obviously we were able to, foster and create a good relationship because of the local service ads, but if we never had that, what would have happened, right? And so that's another issue, right? So like when you sell education, people aren't relying on you to change their life necessarily. They're just relying on you to provide them with education that can change their life, and then they can go do it. And then when they see how hard it is, 9 times out of 10, they'll come back to you and be like, man, I can't do this. Can you help me with it, right? And that's the beauty of education, is that you basically are setting up a solid foundation. You're building the trust all the way from the beginning. It doesn't really take that. So you're building the trust all the way from the beginning. You're allowing them. You're teaching them, what you need to teach them. They're happy with the information that they're learning. They go try it themselves. It doesn't work let's say 9 times out of 10, because they don't really follow 100%. Then they come back to you and ask you if you can help them with it. The time constraint isn't as much. It doesn't take that long to make a video. You don't have to be an editing whiz. You can record just like what I'm doing right here. And then on top of that, it's way more of a flexible thing. It takes longer. It doesn't take longer per se, because you can have a video that literally, your first video could go viral and you could get a whole bunch of people. But the main thing that you should be targeting is views. If you get 5 views a day, guys, that's 150 people a month. If that's 150, you have 150 chances to make an offer. If you have 150 chances to make an offer and you cannot attract people, then you're just not good at marketing, right? Like that just is what it is. So this is the most realistic way, in my opinion, to build a business while working a 9 to 5. And it's the most realistic way. Like if you wanted to, and here's the thing. So I was talking to a friend about this the other day as well. And he was like, man, I don't really have any skills aside from, just marketing. And I want to teach people how to start a business, but I feel like I'm not qualified to teach people how to start a business, right? That's what he told me. And I'm like, well, why? And he's like, because I don't have a business myself, but I feel like I understand how to do it. And I'm like, well, bro, what type of business do you feel like you're qualified to teach people how to start? He said, an agency. I said, okay, well, in your day-to-day, what do you do? And he's like, I work at a $7.2 million agency. And I'm like, okay, so here's the angle that you take. You don't take the angle of being the expert who knows how to grow an agency. You take the angle of the person who's trying to help other people navigate how to build an agency from this perspective of someone who works at an agency. What this means is you're qualified to talk about the departments that's in the agency, the way that you guys sell all your services. Maybe you don't know the operations and stuff like that, but you can help people and you can tell them that you're trying to help them, because most of the people that are trying to help them in the first place have never even done it before or never even worked at an agency. They're just saying that they did, right? And so, like, if you look at it through that lens, through that opportunity, then you don't have to, like, feel like you're unqualified to teach people. You can just teach people in the aspect of an agency that you know. And more people will like that angle because it's different, it's unique, but also it comes across as more trustworthy. You're not faking what you did. You're being open and honest. I'm a marketing manager at an agency, but I've seen what this agency did to grow. We made $7.2 million, and I want to share everything with you so you can avoid the pain and the frustration of wasting time listening to these online gurus that don't know what they're talking about because they have never done it, and they make most of their money selling a course to you on how to grow an agency that they've never done, right? Like, that's a super unique angle, a super fresh perspective that needs to be in the world. And, like, why not be the person who teaches about that, right? Especially if you have that experience. So this is the most realistic thing that I would do if I was working a 9-to-5. Even though I'm telling people, like, you can grow an agency, you can get clients for sure, but you can also just build an education business, right? And if you want to learn how to do that, just join the link below. You can also do both, honestly. So it just depends on ultimately what you want to do. But, like, these are things that you should consider when deciding what path you want to go down when building a business at the end of the day. Peace.